Causation and effect. If you find that you are continuously existing in conflict with your higher self, this is clearly indicative of the fact that you are under the control of something of a remote source. When you find that you take this place seriously and it adversely affects you emotionally and detrimentally affects you mentally, and you're taking it personal as if it's a real thing, you are under the control of something of a remote source. And they get you to do these things to yourself because you are lined up with something that is constructed of patterns and cycles and habits and routines and specific types of behaviors that are detrimental to you. So you'll be at the precipice of a breakthrough only to collapse and fall back again. And they get you to do it to yourself to prevent you from escaping that third dimensional barrier and breaking in to the new reality of your fourth dimension and higher. This is what they use to prevent you from ascending, because they prey upon the primitive inside your physical mind. And it is done through conditioning, training, programming, the educational system, society, everything you've experienced and observed, everything you've seen and witnessed in your life, everything you've encountered. It's a culmination of every single aspect of experiences, situations, circumstances, moments that you have lived through in this life that have been the build-up to this very present moment that causes you to refer to that pattern unconsciously, that causes you to keep stumbling. So you're not actually moving forward. It's 2 steps forward, 7 steps back, and down you go. So it's just like this. It's almost like a ball that just keeps going back and forth. You just roll forward, roll back, roll forward, roll back, roll forward, roll back, and you're not really moving. This is the reason why you're angry. And then you get discouraged and disgusted when you try to do something and make things happen, and then you're blocked, or things seem to be impeded or hindered, and it feels as if it's something out of your control and something that you have no understanding or awareness of. It feels like something other than yourself is attempting to deliberately sabotage the happiness and the progress and the peace and the unity and just the emotional stability of your life. And it makes you, angry and upset, and it gets you disgusted, and it causes you to disconnect from your higher self. Then you begin to exist in conflict with your higher self. So this is exactly what they want to have happen. This is the intended result of this stuff. This is the intended effect. From the onset, from the initial inception of this is what was intended to have happen to you, that you are actually falling into this psychic sabotage and, malevolent trap. So you have to really align yourself with the fact that it's just a game, and I'm speaking from experience, folks. Please don't think I this guy's, much better than me, or, he's much older than me, so he must know more. No, we're all equal, man. We're all equal. I don't care where you come from. I don't care the color of your skin, your gender. That don't mean nothing. Listen, how I know things to be, first off, I never judge anybody. I assess energy, and it doesn't matter your age. You could be 5 years old or 95. That's irrelevant. I see everyone as equal in a lot of aspects as far as being of the same value and the same worth in the eyes of God. But we're not equal in the sense that you cannot lump us into the same gradation of talents and abilities, because that's where we differ. That's where we get diversification from. But I just share these things because I am speaking not only from experience, practical, applicable experience, but also from the fact that I see it happening around me constantly, and I'm not the only one. So, you're almost at that threshold. You're going to break through. Well, there's no threshold, but just to use that as an example. You're almost there to break through, and then something just triggers you, sets you off, and you fall back into those patterns again. That's because consciously, you believe you are connected to your higher self, but unconsciously, you're not. So it's kind of like, how do I put it? It's like 2 separate personalities existing in conflict. One is playing pretend games. One is actually the real deal. And the real deal is your unconscious. That's how they can control your sub and your unconscious. Your conscious state is actually the play pretend game. Like, I'm going to tell everybody what they want to hear, nice smiles and all that stuff. And that's really the metaphorical mask and the social facade and the civil carousel that we play, the carousel of civilities. And let's just play pretend like we all fit together and everybody's nice, and I want to be liked by everybody and all that kind of stuff. That's really what's going on there. So it's a conflict between the unconscious higher self and the conscious lower self, because the unconscious is exactly what's really going on underneath the layers of protection that you hide from the eyes of society. That's why every now and again you get that big fat Freudian slip that comes out because you're actually speaking your truth. That comes from deep down in the depths of your unconscious saying, I've had enough, I'm going to speak my mind. Shoop, and out it goes. And the conscious state is your false identity, because this is the filter that prevents these things. No, 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 no. You can't come out of your door. Stay in your cage. Stay locked down. Stay in the basement. We can't allow you to come out, because then we won't have any friends. If we tell them exactly how we really feel about them, we won't have any friends at all. And we can't have that. We can't have that. That's not good. We have to be liked by everybody. So says the false identity. So you see, you have to get in touch with your unconscious self. That's where the real stuff is happening. Because your conscious self is like the surface stuff. It's the cursory glance, the superficial. That's the, I have to look beautiful, I have to be pretty, I have to be liked, I have to be accepted and approved, and I have to win, and all that stuff. That's where that comes from. In the subconscious is the middle ground, and the unconscious is the foundation, and transverse to that is your superconscious. So that's the layer below the foundation. And that's when you get deep into stuff. You mean your superconscious is like the straight connection to your higher self. It's like levels. You're conscious, subconscious, unconscious, superconscious, and there's more layers. There's layers higher than conscious and layers lower than superconscious. I can't get into them because they defy earth words. But the point I'm trying to impress upon you through this video is such that even though you think in a conscious state you're great, everything's clicking, you're vibing with your higher self, unconsciously, somewhere, you failed to address certain elements and you didn't heal and release them and so on and so forth. So they're still there. So the conscious self is saying, we're fine, everything's great, everybody love me. And the unconscious self is going, no, man, you are playing pretend games and you're lying to yourself and lying to everybody else. So you gotta come down here into the pit and address these things, clean it out, heal it, disinfect it, get rid of it, shed some light in this place. Allow it to dry out and really, become something viable, because all of those levels have to be in alignment. This is the reason why when you can't stand somebody and you're in their company, oh, hey, how you doing? I hope you and your family are doing great and all that garbage. You're being phony. You don't mean what you say. You have to do it because it's just social pleasantries. You can't tell a person exactly how you feel because you are trained to sacrifice your feelings in order to spare somebody else's. You are trained to inconvenience yourself simply to accommodate somebody else. So that is all subliminal training, man. That's where you have to address the subconscious and get rid of that stuff. So when you get to the unconscious state, that's why when you fall asleep, you are in an unconscious state. That's when your soul leaves the body. Let me tell you, when you sleep, your dreams don't come into your head. Your soul departs this earth and it travels to dream state when the body falls unconscious. That's when the real magic happens. That's when the brain is turned off. That's where the real meat and potatoes of this stuff is. So this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. You got to address this stuff. And you have to do it in your own way. I wish I could tell you like a step-by-step, but I don't have that. I only know how to do it for myself. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I fail at it. But that's the reason why I'm here, to learn. But anyway, just bringing it to your attention. If you continuously find that you're always existing in conflict with your higher self, that's because something of an outside source is controlling you, but they're controlling you from your conscious state. So your conscious state is like the guy on the left, and your unconscious state is the guy on the right, and the guy in the middle is your subconscious, and they're controlling the subconscious, and they control the conscious state, but they can't get to the unconscious state. Sometimes through hypnotism they can, and that's when they fully control you. But you have to be in alignment with the fact that if it doesn't feel natural, that means that it isn't. So if any of this stuff doesn't resonate with you, you're not going to embrace it. Invariably, you will reject it. So that being said, you have to work on making it a reality on every level, consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, superconsciously. I speak, of course, of the metaphysical realm, not the physical mind. The physical mind is already owned by them. That you can easily take back once you rectify these types of situations and these particular events and occurrences that you continuously keep encountering, of a detrimental nature, which are very, toxic and just not beneficial, man. You know, it's just like a stumbling block that's unnecessarily placed there, even though you got your act together. You really don't need this. It's like, why did you put that there? I had a smooth road, and here we go again. I got to hit another 97-foot road bump. You know, I got to climb this treacherous mountain here, and get over it again. But this insurmountable obstacle. But hey, man, just boom, punch a hole right through it and keep going. You know, as long as you're in contact with all of your levels, that's it. You know, if you really want to be a real person before I go, the best thing to do is just scour every area of your collective element. I mean, every area. And you just start throwing out what doesn't work, what's phony, what's fake, what's disingenuous. Stop people pleasing. Stop caring what they think. Just be yourself. When you can be yourself and you don't care what they think, you're on to something really amazing. Trust me. And I wish you and your journey the very best. And I know you're going to get to where you need to be eventually, like we all will. It might not happen in this journey, but eventually it will, because you're not here to resolve everything in a single lifetime. That's why you come back again and again and again. But anyway, peace to you always. God bless. Namaste, and have a wonderful day. Take care.